Hi, welcome back. We are checking out Immortal Disfigurement, There Is No Light. This was a suggestion that came from Jao29 Vitor Selapora. I'm sorry for pronouncing that probably horribly. But here we are. This song is supposed to fill me with disgust and unease and everything. I feel like I've already accomplished that with Immortal Disfigurement, but here we are. I'm eager to check this one out. This is a visualizer, so we'll see. I even put on my my good sandals today. So enough of that. Let's just go. Immortal Disfigurement. There is no light. Okay, good start. Like, it's everything I would expect from Immortal Disfigurement at this point. There are some other videos I've done of other bands as well where you've heard me say that some of the more deathcore music that I've listened to have these nods to what black metal would often do in their music, especially in terms of what notes you choose to play. And what I've come to learn after listening to a lot more deathcore now than what I've done previously is that there are many bands and many songs that have these small nods to black metal and what I think at least black metal started. And here as well, you can hear in the guitars that they play this kind of like devil's tritone kind of sound, very like dissonant, and sounds evil when they switch between the half steps on the guitar, like half notes on the guitar. Sounds evil, sounds eerie. With CJ's vocals on top of it, it sounds even worse in a positive way. It sounds horrible in a good way. That's what, like, saying something's disgusting, right? But yeah, no, so far so good. I like it. Let's continue. Cool. It is incredibly intense, isn't it? I feel like the two minutes and 10 seconds that we heard until this point has been the same kind of energy level all the way. The drums are just going off with the double bass, and it's relentless. The same thing with the snare drum, just keeps that intense pace all the time. Really cool listening to all of the instruments in the back, and then CJ on top of this one. He is, again, spitting is the best way to describe it. He produces his lyrics incredibly fast, and I love when they do that and when they switch in between that. And I don't think I've heard CJ do that in the other songs I've heard from Immortal Disfigurement, at least not so far. So the cool thing about that is that it gives me the same kind of rhythmic vibes that it did with Shadow of Intent, where the voice becomes more of a percussive element in the song. And I think it's the same here as well. And how fast he spits those syllables perfectly complements how fast and how intense the instrumentation is on this song. So, you know, I love it. It's cool. It's so refreshing to hear Immortal Disfigurement do different kind of styles and do these different kind of vocals and give you sort of a different experience, because sometimes bands will do a lot of the same things because they maybe hit something out of the park with a certain song and they try to recreate that magic. But it doesn't seem like that's the case with Immortal Disfigurement and so many other bands I've reacted to as well. So that's, you know, huge plus. Great. Let's continue. Is this going to be like the other ones? Oftentimes I'll hear, when I've heard Immortal Disfigurement, they'll throw a breakdown in the smackdown in the middle of the song and then do another breakdown later in the song, which is really cool. Like, why not have more than just one breakdown? Because that's usually what you'll hear with a lot of songs that you'll hear, is that the breakdown is like the culmination of the song, right? Like the very peak, like it doesn't get more intense than this. But I love it when they can actually do that multiple times. Like, let's have the culmination here, but guess again, here's the culmination. And that is super cool. I don't know if they're going to throw in another breakdown here, but they have done that before. I've heard that before. They did that in, I especially remember it in Gospel of Annihilation, the first song I did by Immortal Disfigurement. And that was super cool. So maybe it'll happen here as well. Demonic, satanic, it seems. You know, the humanoid goat. Yeah, it's supposed to be evil, and it seems evil, and it sounds evil. So check. Let's continue. Ooh. We just need to stop it a little bit. this is also a thing that I've come to learn from Immortal Disfigurement at this point, is that the intensity, first of all, the intensity is crazy in every song I've heard. Like, they don't let off that throttle. They just push that thing to the ground and then just let it ring. But one thing that they do is to actually have spots where they take everything down a little bit. Like, everything stops and you have these sort of like, maybe like choir noises or some kind of synth noise, or just some like eerie atmospheric noise that is just in the background, kind of. And that gives you room to breathe, right? And that is really cool when you do that in a song that is otherwise this intense. Same thing goes for the earlier songs I've heard as well. They throw in those breaks here and there for you to sort of find your center. Although there's nothing centered about this. But that's the perfect and awesome thing about it. You're supposed to get all of those things out. And I really feel like I'm doing that right now, so that's good. Oh, great. Really good. We got about a little more over a minute left, so let's just listen to the rest of the song from here on out. Okay. Oh! Oh shit. No. Let's listen to that last noise one more time. That actually kind of sounds like a monster swallowing something, which is so fitting for this. As I suspected, there would be a second breakdown, and there was, and it was incredibly intense. Like, this is one of the things that I really admire about a band like Immortal Disfigurement. I've heard, 4 or 5 songs now? And every single breakdown I have heard are different from the last one that I've heard. This one as well. The composition of that breakdown was incredibly cool and almost like put into sections. And every section started with just like this brutal sounding, like you could hear this gut-wrenching growl just sort of coming up, and right at the enunciation of whatever word or whatever he was, if he was saying something at all, everything just comes in and it just smacks so hard. Like, the breakdowns that Immortal Disfigurement does are like, I don't know if I've heard people making breakdowns that are this different from each other, and that makes it so exciting every time I listen to one of their songs, because first of all, I know there's probably going to be a breakdown. Question is, how are they going to approach it this time? Which makes it kind of a guessing game, and you never know. All you know is that it's probably going to be brutal as all heck. Sounds like a monster. I mean, CJ is, a beast. And I think most of you guys who have seen the videos and who have listened to it and also enjoy Immortal Disfigurement has commented and said the same. And for many of you, CJ is like one of your favorite vocalists in deathcore, and I have no problem understanding that. His vocal performances are incredibly good. And I think I'm not done with his Immortal Disfigurement. The next video we're gonna do, I'm gonna try to see if I can find something they do live. So if you got a good live suggestion from Immortal Disfigurement that is like well mixed, well balanced, you know, good performance, something that is like really worth watching, then let me know. Then I'll hold off on the other stuff and then check that out. So please, I'd be more than happy to take those suggestions. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed. This was really cool. I'll see you in the next one. You take good care of yourself. Goodbye.